apparently something that I thought was coming a couple months ago is something that I've as predicted here on Fantasy NBA today. Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent Alex Saratzis rolls right off the tongue have started conversations with the Milwaukee Bucks about the two-time NBA MVP's future and discussing whether his best fit is staying or elsewhere. They're talking it out, folks. They're going to see if they can make it work, right? A resolution/revolution is expected in the coming weeks. Doc, you get to go first. What do you like?
They say you want a revolution. Yeah. I mean, we could see this coming from a mile away. Oh, good. I don't have to say his name.
You don't have to say anything. I love it.
No, I don't have to say his name. We saw this coming from a mile away. The Bucks are in trouble. Ever since Giannis won that MVP, it's just kind of been trouble. They won the title in 2021, and since then, nothing has gone their way. Damian Lillard move, bad. Losing Jrue Holiday, bad. Chris Middleton washed up, bad. Like nothing has gone right. Doc Rivers, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. So this is the least surprising thing to come across the wire. I just like the fact that a revolution is expected in the coming weeks is what we have changed a resolution to over here at Sports Ethos.
Yeah, I mean, this was the planning behind the Kevin Porter rank, that's for sure. This was the green lights behind Ryan Rollins the minute that guy had a pulse, that's for sure. That's like the beginning of this, but let's dig a little bit deeper here. Like, is there anything else on this roster we can get excited about?
Kuzma and Portis.
Yeah, I mean, Kuzma and Portis, sure. But what's the timing on this deal? Like, is it a trade deadline deal? Is it an off-season deal? That's the kind of question that I have. Because if it's a trade deadline deal, something's possibly coming back. You got to think something's coming back for Giannis. That whole dynamic is also super interesting because I think Giannis has so much risk associated with him, with his knees, the style of play. Like, we got actually an answer on that, is like a resolution expected in the coming weeks. I think this is being handled correctly by Milwaukee and by Giannis getting ahead of it. Like, don't let this thing drag out. Don't let this head to the off season unless they just get together and decide it's going to head to the off season. That could be the resolution. But it really feels like there's no future in Milwaukee. There's none. And if you're Milwaukee, you're just hanging on to a depreciating asset that's got major injury kind of hanging over his head. If the big one hits and you've got a guy that needs the ball in his hands, that can't shoot, who's got, questionable defense at this point. Like, I watched him play the other night and it's like, I don't know, I'm not that afraid of Giannis. Like, in terms of like, is he going to be just this major force in the league and just take over? Yeah, the numbers were good early on. I kind of think that was either to get people to get to Milwaukee or for him to make people excited to take him on as a major trade, as a finishing piece to a championship roster. So what's the market here? I don't know, but you mentioned Kyle Kuzma, you mentioned Bobby Portis. Like, is this I can't even say this with these guys. I'll say it, but I don't mean it. Like, is it a run to the wire moment?
Yeah, I think so. And like Shams is saying, this thing's going to be done before the February 5th trade deadline, which that means to me, like, this is kicking into action right now. Like, this is an actionable item that Milwaukee is going to start fielding offers for Giannis and figure this out. The Knicks are said to be Giannis's only team that he wants to go to besides the Bucks, or at least that was, earlier. I don't know what's going to happen now, but man, like, I would not be shocked if something happens in the next 10 days, if not sooner.
You have to do this move quickly. Like, you're going to bring that piece into your roster. It's just the style of play issue alone. Like any place he goes to, unless they're resetting, and I don't think you reset around Giannis, he's going to have to learn how to stand in the dunker spot. I mean, they'll try to put him up at the top of the key, but who, as a number one or even a number two player in the NBA right now, wants to have Giannis come dribble at the top of the key and just go kamikaze style to the rim and drive and kick, to open shooters? But like, that's such a difference in the style of play. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about whose fantasy value did Giannis murder wherever he gets traded to. And I don't know what the Knicks could do in a deal. I kind of wrap my head around that one because they don't have a lot of kind of overall depth, and I just don't understand their cap situation. We got a December 15 date that looms large here, by the way. Like, you're going to get like a third of the players in the league, I think, become eligible at that time for trade. So the 2 to 3 week window here, I mean, if you're throwing a dart, and maybe they already got this figured out, it's the week after the December 15th deadline, right before Christmas. Holy moly, that could be fun. You believe that Giannis, like, okay, do we have any clue where Giannis is going to get traded? Like, that to me feels like the ultimate starting point here. And we can talk about the roster. Like, let me ask you this, Doc. Does this improve or decrease the value for Miles Turner?
Improves it. Just usage rate alone goes skyrockets.
The style of play certainly is going to shift, and you could see Miles Turner in a pick and pop, kind of an arrangement there, start to get a ton more threes. AJ Green, to me, is the best fantasy asset after the main guys. Does AJ Green become consistent? Do we get a little bit of like a Con Knipple thing going on, though? AJ Green is allergic to defensive stats. Would you maybe go add AJ Green on this news?
No, the guys I'm moving on are Portis and drawing a blank. Portis and Kuzma were starters, and then I think Ryan Rollins gets more life out of this. Like, it doesn't hurt him. And then a guy like AJ Green, I think eventually, once the deal happens, maybe he gets a boost. But with all these guys, it just depends on who comes back, because I don't think you're going to move Giannis for a 1-for-1 deal. So there's going to be players coming back to Minneapolis that may make all these guys we're talking about irrelevant. I don't know. But that's really ultimately the thing. Like, if it's picks, everybody's in a great spot. Like KPJ, Ryan Rollins, I think are kind of safe from anything, but they're in a great spot if it's just picks that come back. Same with Miles Turner, but like AJ Green, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, that trio, Gary Trent, that foursome of players. If you wanted to add Cole Anthony to that, feel free. But that's the level of player that we're talking about with all these guys. Sub-rosterable players that haven't really given us a case for upside. I mean, Kuzma might be the one where you go, all right, we're stuck with Kuzma. All right, let's see if we can have him play well, and maybe we can get some interest in the Kyle Kuzma market somehow, some way. And maybe the Sacramento Kings will get interested and make a phone call. So maybe you get some Kyle Kuzma season for however amount of time between December, say 25th and the end of January. There's a little Kyle Kuzma zone in there before another trade happens. I don't know. I think whoever comes back is going to have value. The other question I have is, let's say that the Bucks called the league and call Adam Silver and say, look, we're moving Giannis, but guess what? We're not playing him between now and then, because if he gets hurt, everything is jacked. And we are doing this with full transparency and in good faith, but we're not playing Giannis until we move it. Like, is that possible that happens?
I think the way you phrased that and the way that you rolled that out was the exact way that you should hopefully be able to, if you're talking with Adam Silver in the league, and not have to play the games, or maybe you can signal it and not say it so they're not liable, in another context. Okay, we did it for you, Milwaukee. We're not going to do it for this other team. But that's absolutely what's going on here. Like, I would not play Giannis, and I would tell Giannis straight up, Giannis, you're not playing because you need to be traded. You need to get out of here. You don't want to be here. Like, we're a sinking ship. You know it. We know it. We're resetting. It's going to take 5 to however many years to get going over here. But you, sir, need to stay healthy so we can actually trade you. So if he gets a dinged up knee, he can't be traded. I'm sorry.
If you have Giannis on your fantasy roster right now, Brew, what are you panicking? Are you like, please God, let him keep playing, and then let's get this over with as soon as possible? I think trading Giannis right now is like, well, maybe trading him right now before people think about all this works, but once this sets in, you're selling so low. I don't know that it's doable.
Yeah, I think, if I have Giannis, which I don't, easy for me to say, I would be trading him as fast as possible. And if it's a head-to-head league where people are more apt to buy into what Giannis is selling fantasy-wise, that's going to be sell now. I'm going to hopefully get a third rounder back. I would not value Giannis even in a head-to-head context, even if we're punting. If we're punting all the 3 deficiencies, the turnovers and the free throws and the lack of threes, if we're punting all that stuff, even with that high valuation, I'm not going to consider Giannis a first, second, third, or even fourth round player the rest of the way. It's the injury risk. It's the wherever he gets traded, he's going to be third fiddle. Wherever he gets traded is just my ballpark guess. Third fiddle. He has this massive fantasy value because he's in Milwaukee, because they've built the entire franchise around him. He gets to stand at the top, do all the different things, and he just won't. You can't play that way and win with him, and nobody will trade him with that in mind. So I think you sell him now. While his stat averages, by the way, punting even aside, he's a third round value. Like this season, 63% from the foul line. That's hurting. Yes, it's hurting. But the other numbers are so good. 30 points, 10 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. The defensive numbers probably hang in wherever he goes, to some degree. He'll probably get a little bit of a breath of fresh air and some added life at that point in time, maybe some fresher legs even, because he doesn't have to do so much work offensively. But those points, I wouldn't be shocked if he was a 20-point per game scorer wherever he goes. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 18. Rebounds wise, who's he playing with? Right now, they get the ball to Giannis. They box out for him so he can grab the ball and go. Is that going to happen at his new location? 6.5 assists, that's gone. We're looking at 4 assists wherever he gets traded to. So right now, people look at him as an early round guy, and I would trade him right now.